Hello everyone, this is Mugilan from K.S.Rangasamy College of Technology. In this video, we are going to discuss about the psychological effects of wearables. So, what are the psychological effects are created while using wearable devices? Currently, we are using watches, rings, and many more. So, the impact on human behavior, the mental health and well-being are to be discussed in this video. So, the wearable devices includes smartwatches, fitness trackers, and health bands. So, continually monitoring the health and the activity through the wearable devices. There are the strong influences of user emotions, thoughts, and behaviors using these wearable devices. So, why study the psychological effects when using wearable devices? So, the wearable devices interact continuously with users and influence motivation, stress, and self-awareness. The essential for ethical and user-centered technology design. So, we are using what are the positive psychological effects? So the health awareness, the regular physical activity, health, self improved self-discipline, and the great sense of control over personal health. These are some of the positive senses of psychological efforts. So the behavior change and motivation. So the goal setting, gamification, habit formation, the positive reinforcement mechanisms. These are some of the behavioral change in the motivations. What are the impact on mental well-being when using wearable devices? So the mindfulness features, stress monitoring, the sleep awareness, improvement in the sleep awareness, and the early detection of abnormal health patterns, the support for mental health management. These are the some of the impacts on mental well-being when using wearable devices. So the negative side of the psychological effects are anxiety, vision, information overload, and reduced trust in personal judgment. These are the some of the negative psychological effects when you using this psychological effects. So the health anxiety and over dependence means there's misinterpretation of wearable data. Sometimes the recorded data maybe mismatches. So the false alerts. The sensor giving the false information and increased stress levels when seeing uh, the stress level increased. Dependency on device feedback. So dependency on device feedback means when the feedback getting from the device. So the social and behavioral impact. So the social comparison, competition. So the peer pressure through shared performance data, reduced face-to-face interaction, risk of digital addiction. These are the some of the social and behavioral impacts when using wearable devices. So the privacy related psychological concerns here we are discussing about the privacy. So the wearables are continuously monitoring our personal data. It will sometimes fear us. So the loss of personal autonomy. So our personal informations will be misused or uh, when sometimes lost. So the trust issues with data handling. So trust issues, sometimes we are not trusting when using data handling, the long data storing, and the ethical discomfort. So sometimes uh, we we are not comfortable with the ethical issues related to wearable using. So next, the impact on different user groups. So mostly the wearable devices uh, logging with a particular company they are manufacturing. Usually they are grouping the users with a different set of groups, sometimes with sugar patients, sometimes with heart patients, sometimes with fitness groups. So this comparison with the other users giving pressure on us. And next, the patients. So similarly, the sugar patients comparing the um, sugar level with the other patients, and it gives anxiety over the other patients. So next one is the elderly users. So the elderly users safety and confidence issues, the matters. So in using with the adults, the self-image and comparison issues will be happening. Once we are taking a selfie of our pictures, um, it will be compared with the other persons. It makes some compatibility issues on other user groups. So the role of design in psychological impact. So user control or notification, clear and simple data visualization, transparent data interpretation, customizable feedback mechanism. So these are some of the roles of designing in psychological impact on wearable devices. So the ethical considerations, what are the ethical considerations when designing a wearable devices? So using in meaning we're avoiding manipulating or manipulating data will be avoided, and the informed user consent to be avoided. So psychological well-being as priority. So giving highest priority to the well-being on psychological impacts on using wearable, and the presenting data will be more responsible because it will be related to the health data. So the mitigation strategies. So when designing wearable devices, give alert on personalized, not on user groups. So, and another one is user education and awareness. So create some awareness for the users and educate them to how to use wearable device and wearable data to be used, and the feedback to be balanced one. And next one is the human in the loop decision support. So decision support must be coming across with the humans. So the next one is the future trends. So what will be the future of personalized alerts when using wearable devices? So the emotion aware wearable. This is one of the future trend. Next one is the AI based mental health monitoring. The mental health monitoring is uh, monitored based on the AI and the adaptive and empathetic interfaces, ethics by design framework. These are some of the future trends. So the emotion aware, AI based, adaptive and empathetic are the future trends of wearable devices. So coming to the conclusion, so the wearables significantly influence human psychology. So all health related issues will be monitored by wearable devices. So when using carefully of using wearable devices, and ethically we have to design user-centric design. That's all about the psychological effects of using wearables. Thank you. Thank you everyone.